What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, What's Up G, back with another banger, and I am the best reporting on entertainment. On today's upload, we got China basically saying that we can sell directly to the US. They've been taking over TikTok, Instagram. This been going viral. Now, I ain't really get into it, but if you like me, you do like some high-end stuff here and there. So let's get into it, y'all. What they talking
Hey,
about?
as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But
Really?
those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have an Hermes bag, and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else like leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from us, from our factory in China. See the real world for yourself.
The way China is spilling
They
the
right at it.
beans on these luxury brands, okay? But the DH girls try to tell y'all. They try to tell y'all, okay?
Facts.
It's the same damn thing. They are tied and through. I get it. Listen, I don't really care for these luxury brands. Y'all will be all right because people still going to be goofy and buy y'all stuff anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But it just shows how the stuff is not worth it. Those products are not worth the price. But we knew this though. The only thing is that China has always kept it cute. Okay? People find out, but China was like, listen, we want them orders. We want them coins. We're going to keep it
Facts.
cute. But now, because Mr. Man want to play with the tariffs, oh yeah, they spilling the beans, honey. Chanel, all these cosmetic brands. Have y'all been to Sephora lately? Foundation is like $80. But is it really? Okay. Yeah, they're spilling the beans and I'm here for it. And if you want to be goofy and spend all that money, that's on you. That is on you. But baby, it's not worth it. It's not. Okay? Thank you.
And the crazy part about that is I've been knew about DH Gate. And I've been telling people it comes directly from the same factories. It's impossible for it not to come from the same factories. Like, really think about it. It's impossible for it not to come from the same factories. Like, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't there be levels of quality control within those same factories and it's coming from the same factories? Of course it is. You get what I'm saying? But some people just love to be hype about stuff and, oh no, X, Y, and Z. But now it comes out that all that stuff was coming from the same factories. And what he said about the labels at the beginning is very true. It's very true with a lot of stuff. You slap a Nike symbol on anything and you go and get like a certain feeling to it. It don't stop that it's just a $5 shirt. It probably don't even cost $5 to make. You slap the Nike symbol on there and now they gonna sell it for 90. It just is what it is. You get what I'm saying? But when it's coming from China, you know, people tend to look at that Chinese label and not associate it with anything that has any real value to it. You get what I'm saying? When they see that made in France, they think it's prestigious. You get what I'm saying? When actually you can't even produce most of this stuff over in France at a high volume. Yeah, they don't have the logistics over there to produce most of this stuff in France. That's like the truth of the matter. They don't they can't produce all these leathers and stuff like that at a high clip like that over there. China is set up to make this stuff. Now, do I believe that the tariffs can be a good thing for the United States? Yeah, because there's a lot of business that went out of business when the world started hitting the US with tariffs. There's a lot of homegrown businesses in the US that should not be out of business, that should not be struggling because of what China tended to do to the US. I'll give you a quick story. My grandfather, he worked for a place called Luke and Steel. Um, they made most of the steel here on the East Coast. If you didn't know, most people root for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You get what I'm saying? And they don't even be knowing that like Pennsylvania was known for steel making, but they're not anymore. They just only have the Pittsburgh Steelers. So a big part of what happened to Luke and Steel, China actually came over to the U.S. to see how they were doing their operations. They took some pictures, went back home, and created the same steel mills, but made them slightly bigger and slightly faster, and just undercut Luke and Steel. And it actually those middle parts of Pennsylvania never recovered. If you're from Phoenixville, you know what I'm talking about. If you're from Coatesville, you know what I'm talking about. If you're from Pittsburgh, you know what I'm talking about. They've never recovered. You think Pennsylvania and say Philadelphia? No, Philadelphia is just on the little corner piece of Pennsylvania. But don't get me wrong, Pennsylvania is still one of the main pieces on that monopoly board. The rest of Pennsylvania was basically the blue collar middle class of Pennsylvania, that was the backbone of Pennsylvania, got decimated. And that's a quick history lesson for you. Keep going.
Have y'all seen the TikToks that China is putting out about all the secrets on how luxury items are made, and they're just slapping the names on it? Y'all, if you have not seen the TikToks that China is putting out about the things that are being manufactured in China and brought over to the United States of America, you should go and check it out. You should go and check it out. Trump, you should have left them alone. You should have left them the fuck alone. This is the fuck around.
Why would he leave him alone? She about to mess around and find out. What does the US gain by like designer brands going under? Don't nobody care. I don't care what happens to Hermes. I mean, it's cool when I'm wearing it, but I don't care what happens to them as a company. I'm not obligated to care about what happens to Louis Vuitton. And the last girl said this: don't nobody care what happens to these luxury brands. They can die off. I don't care. Why would anybody in the US care?
Find out stage. They are through and they are spilling all the beans.
Yeah.
God.
She's saying it like she got bad mindset. Don't nobody care. Like, anybody who real would not care. Like, they don't move the needle on nothing in nobody's life.
Chanel handbags. Chanel handbags.
And
Cosmetics. Skims.
let them die off.
Y'all are done. Done.
So now we know why America really didn't want us to see what they was doing over in China. And if you don't know, click the search bar and see how China just exposed America. That design.
What are they talking about? This has nothing to do with America. These brands aren't owned by Americans. America don't own these brands. Now, America is one of the main holders of these brands, but if anything, China and the brands that are actually formed in other countries didn't want us to know. America doesn't really matter if they know or not. Like, it doesn't move the needle. Maybe the cool kids on the block in America got to figure out a different way to be cool, but why would we care? Why would we ever care? I'm trying to make it make sense, y'all.
China that you've been spending your money on, $200, $300, $400, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. All of your hard-earned money basically been going to knockoffs, if that's what y'all want to call them. Canal Street specials, if I might say. China is basically saying that your favorite designer gets their bags, their clothes, their shoes made in China, not Italy. So when you thinking you getting the finest of threads, you getting them from China. And now China is saying that they got them for the low, like they been had them, but they just not keeping it secret no more. So what they're saying is that designer that we've been wearing, they've been making, and they make it for cheaper, and we might as well not buy that designer that we've been buying. It's kind of strange to me because a lot of people been losing their lives to get designer.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up listening to people this stupid. Yeah, like it doesn't move the needle for Americans. Nobody in America is owning this stuff. These is owners from other countries. They just were selling it to Americans. Actually, Americans stopping buying it actually would be good for America. You get what I'm saying? You ain't gotta buy it from them, or you ain't gotta buy it from China. Don't buy it from neither one of them. Who cares? Moving on to something different. We can get manufacturers in America. Bring them manufacturers to America. Don't nobody care that they ain't eating over there. I mean, that's just me personally. That's how, on my channel, I keep it real. I keep it real. I just see it for what it is. Maybe I'm seeing it a little bit different, but I don't care that a manufacturer from Europe or France, or just a brand owner from Europe or France who actually acts bougie towards the United States and acts bougie towards a lot of most of these brands have a problem with classism. So if that's the case and you're not from the United States with all these brands, why would I care that you about to go through some hard times? Why would I care? And as far as China having a hard time like manufacturing this stuff, well, we got companies in the US that have gone under because China undercut everything that they were doing. So why would I care about that? On this channel, we keep it real. And with my reaction, I got a brain, bro. Like, I don't know what you talking about. All right, so drop it in the comments what y'all think about this. I was seeing it on my feed. I was like, yo, what's really going on now that I see it? So what? Get y'all stuff off DHgate. Get y'all stuff directly from the manufacturers. Get it for cheaper. You going to kill a brand from somebody that owns it in France or Europe? Who cares? And you'll be up and chilling. So just chill and do y'all thing, all right? It's your boy, What's Up G. Don't forget to drop a like on this. Let me know what y'all feel about this. Is y'all still going to be on designer brands? Y'all going to start copping it off places like DHgate and wherever else y'all can get this type stuff? With me, I'm always keep it real because I'm the realest in entertainment. I'm the realest speaking it. Some people try to keep it over there. Some people try to do a narrative over there. But no, we keep it real on this channel, all right? It's your boy, What's Up G. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all. What they talking about? Nobody care if they fall off.